Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. How are you all doing? Let me know in the chat, okay? We are about to get started. This session is a no waste time session, okay? We are going to be going straight direct, no fluffy stuffs, no fillers, okay? Are you ready? If you are ready, let me know. If you can hear the sound of my voice, let me know in the chat. Just type loud in the chat. If you can hear the sound of my voice as I'm speaking right now, type clear in the chat section or type loud. Yes, loud, loud. Let me see you type loud in the chat. Let me know if you can hear the sound of my voice. I need to know if you are ready. It is until when you guys are ready, that's when I'm going to be showing my pretty face, okay? Let me know if you are ready. Are you ready to see my pretty face? Let's see if you are ready, okay? If you are ready to see the face, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Loud, 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 loud. Ready, 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 ready. Are we ready? Should I show my face, or we should just, have this session like this without the face? Should we just have an audio session, or you want to see my face? Does my face really matter? Let us vote in the chat. Let me know if you want to see my face. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Idowa Abraham. You're welcome. Kate, you're welcome. Success, you're welcome. Isaac Oladele, you are welcome. Wasiu, Titi, Ajoshe, Rachel, Grace, Joy, you're welcome. Should we just have it as an audio session, or you need me to show my face? Okay, only a few people want me to show my face. Oh. Okay. okay. What you're saying, please show your face. It makes your presentation interesting. Are you sure, or you just want to see my face? mm. uh, okay. All right. So without wasting so much of our time, what you have to do right now, two things. The first thing, hit that subscribe button down below. Okay, hit that subscribe button. If you don't hit the subscribe button, I will just give you an audio session. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. That is one. Two, hit the like button. When you hit the like button, you are telling YouTube that what I do here is something you like, and you like YouTube to continue to show you something like this. Okay, but if you have this kind of session, you like what you got, you like the value, but you did not hit the like button, you are telling YouTube that it seems we don't really like what this person is actually sharing. So YouTube might not show you something like this anymore. So hit the like button to tell YouTube, to tell the algorithm that you like what you are giving out here, the value you are getting from here. And then hit the subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, it will get you stick to this channel, so that subsequent classes, subsequent episodes, subsequent programs, because we have much of this to be bringing to you, okay, before the year runs out. So when you're stick to this channel, you won't miss any of those programs. So do those two things. And then the third thing, which is the last thing, you see, just take that link that you clicked that got you here, take it and share it to everyone that you love. Only the people that you love. Those who you know that whatever happens to them will affect you. Whatever happens to them, will reach you as well. Your spouse, your friends, your colleague at work, your church member, your classmates, people who you live together, people who you belong to the same association, your mosque members, whatever, people who matter to you. Share that link to them. Let them come here. Let them join. Let them learn. It is free, of course. It's free. Let them learn and implement whatever we're going to be learning here. Okay. So if you have done that, if you have done those three things, you've hit the like button, you've hit the subscribe button, and you have also shared, then let me know. Okay. Let me know. Somebody's saying showing my face is like a bum. Okay, so if you've done those three things, let me know so that we can get started right now. The subscribe button is just below. Just look down below. You see the subscribe button. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now. Okay. Let me know if you've done those three things so that we can get started right away. Because once we start, it's going to be a marathon. No waiting, no stopping, no pausing. I'm going to be giving you back to back value. So look down below, you see the like button. Look down below. Don't just come here and just learn and gain value. Encourage us by giving us hitting the like button. So also let us know that what we are doing is something I like, so that we can do more of this. Okay. All right. So if you have done this, just type ready. Okay. So do that right away. I'll give you just 1 minute. And in that 1 minute, make sure you do that. And I'm going to get a glass of water so that we can get started right now. Okay, give me a minute. Yes, I'm here. Can you see my face right now? If you can see my face and you can hear the sound of my voice, I need you to just type loud and clear in the chat. So if you can see my face right now and you can hear the sound of my voice clearly, just type loud and clear so that I know that the setup is proper so that we can shoot right away. Loud and clear, let me know. It's so good to have every one of you here tonight. Okay. How is the power grid issue going on in your own area? Do you guys have light now? Okay. Loud and clear, loud and clear. Okay. Idowa Jai says loud and clear. Adegoke says loud and clear. Adesonya, loud and clear. Sarah, loud and clear. Okay. Seems the setup is good. All right. So let's go right. Okay. So if you are meeting me for the first time, people call me Dr. Ayo. And the reason why I'm being called that you will know tonight. Okay. So why you are here is for this class is basically on stomach ulcer and acid reflux. So we are going to be talking about things that you need to understand about ulcer and acid reflux. If you are here and you are currently battling with ulcer, let me know in the chat. If you've been battling with ulcer for more than 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, let me know in the chat. And if you're battling with GERD, acid reflux as well, let me know in the chat. Let me see you guys. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's ulcer has become something that uh, is now affecting everyone right now, which is not supposed to be. It has become a general stuff. Almost everyone. If you gather 10 people, out of 10 people, I can guarantee that about 4, 5, 6 will tell you they are battling with ulcer. Okay. Somebody saying they can't hear me. Please, is a problem from my own end or their own end? People can hear me. So Sandra Walker says she's been battling with ulcer for 3 years. Okay. All right. So okay. Ifeanyi also says stomach ulcer. Okay. So it is something that is general right now. In fact, it has gotten to an extent that people now, brag about having ulcer. So, when they have certain activities to do, maybe, they have to fast or they have to travel or they have to reduce the food intake or stuff, they brag that they have ulcer and they can't do these things. Okay. But, and I'm sure that every one of you here who is actually, somebody saying, Prince is saying ulcer for 15 years, you see, that's how bad it has been. And I'm definitely sure, yeah, that every one of you dropping that comment, you must have done something with regards to that ulcer. You must have, you didn't just sit back at home saying, and because you have ulcer to just take over your life. No, I know you must have done certain things. You must have taken some medications. You must have reached out to health practitioners. You must have gone to the hospitals, or you must have even used one drug, one medication, concoction, herbal stuff. You must have done something in the past, but generally, for a lot of people, there's usually no results. Yeah, there's usually no results because a lot of people don't understand what ulcer really is. A lot of people don't understand what acid reflux is. These two, they are like twins. but not everybody that has ulcer has acid reflux, but a lot of people within this bracket. That's why I just brought out these two topics to handle at once. Okay, so you must have done certain things, you must have do this. Okay. So Deborah is saying I've had ulcer, but now I'm free from it. Okay, yeah, that's good. So, but there are some people who are still battling with this, and they've spent so much money. And that's gotten an extent that it has even affected the way some people eat. So they've adjusted their life, that okay, because I have ulcer, cut out certain things out of their life, which they even enjoy doing. So the first thing you need to know, the first thing you need to have in your palm is how ulcer actually comes to be. If you understand how ulcer comes to be, for you to know where you're going to, for you to know the future, you must know where you're coming from. If you know how this thing came to be, and you study how this thing actually came to be, you will find loopholes. That's what I always say. When you understand how some ailments, some health conditions came to be, how they came to be in your own particular body, based on your own body chemistry and all sorts, you will find a loophole. You will find that thing that, you find the weak points of these illnesses. And once you can take advantage of these weak points, then you're good to go. So that is basically what I'm going to be sharing today. I will let you know by the end of this class, by the end of this discussion, you will have gotten some understanding about acid reflux and ulcer. So even if you don't have it, even if you don't have these issues, you will know what to do in case you have it, or in case people around you have it. And this will not be part of the things that you're scared of anymore. So let us quickly break down ulcer. Okay. Somebody saying more than 3 years and it still disturbed me this afternoon. Okay. That's how bad ulcer is. Okay. Now, breaking down of ulcer. Ulcer is basically a sore on the skin or the mucous membrane, and it's usually accompanied with disintegration of tissue and sometimes formation of pus. Now, so ulcer are generally like sore. Let's just say sore, wound. So there are different types of ulcers. Some people do not know. There's diabetic ulcer, and the common one, the stomach ulcer, and also. So the common one, the one that affects a lot of people, give them pain in the stomach area, is called peptic ulcer. So peptic ulcer is a sore on the lining of your stomach or small intestine. Stomach or small intestine. So some people have stomach ulcer, which stomach ulcer is also called gastric ulcer. Why some people have ulcer in the intestine. That one is what we call the duodenal ulcer. So there's one of the stomach and there's one of the small intestine. Why there's the ulcer that affects the throat, that's esophageal ulcer, that's ulcer of the throat. So those three parts, the throat, the stomach, and the small intestine. Okay, now, so ulcer is usually caused by oxidative damage. So ulcer is an oxidative damage to the parts of the tissue, which is called the mucous membrane, the mucous layer. And the function of this mucous layer in your digestive tract, in your stomach, in your small intestine, the work of that mucous layer is to, it serves as a protective coating, as a protective covering on your stomach and your small intestine. Your stomach produces acid. I'm sure everybody knows. So out of the whole body, your stomach is one of the parts of the body that functions the best when it is acidic. So your stomach shouldn't be alkaline. That is one of the reasons why when people take a lot of alkaline water, you have to be careful when you take alkaline water. Alkaline water is good, but you have to be careful because your stomach needs to be acidic for it to function very well. So we have hydrochloric acid and the rest in your stomach. Now, because your stomach produces acid, God now created a layer on the walls of your stomach to cover the walls of your stomach so that this acid won't affect the wall. So this wall is what we call the mucosal wall or mucous layer. Now, once there's a damage to that wall, when there's a perforation in that wall, that is basically what is called ulcer, and usually caused by oxidative damage. Now, we produce about 0.5 to 1.5 liter of gastric acid every day, about 0.5 to 1.5 liter of acid every day. And this acid comprises of the most popular one, hydrochloric acid. It also comprises of potassium chloride. It also comprises of sodium chloride. That is why it's very important to incorporate potassium, sodium in your meal because our body needs them. So this acid, their function is to help you break down the food you eat. Now, apart from breaking down of the food you eat every time, Of course, there are some food that it starts to get broken down from the mouth, like starch. When you eat starch, carbohydrate food starts breaking down from the mouth. But protein has to get inside of your body. Now, the function of this acid in helping us break down our food. I'm going somewhere. I'm just trying to, give you the foundation so that you understand everything at the end, because understanding is the key. So there's another function of this acid which a lot of people do not know. You see, this acid, God is so perfect when he was creating us. He knows what we need. He knows. He's just a master creator. Okay. So this acid also helps to kill yeasts and rots that we eat with our food. So of course, we don't have total control over the type of food we eat in terms of how these foods are being planted, how they're being processed, how they're being cooked sometimes, and all sorts. So certain times, you eat food that contains yeast and you do not know. You eat food that some parts are already getting rotten and you do not know. So this when your stomach is healthy, when the acid level of your stomach is on point, this acid also helps to kill these yeasts and rots which we eat through our food. So this means that when your stomach acid is at the top of its game, you will rarely get food poisoning. Okay, so I know some of you are scared of food poisoning. Some of you have had it in the past and you were able to survive it. When I'm talking about food poisoning, I don't mean when somebody adds poison to your food. When you eat certain thing in your food that goes against your health, like when you eat food that are already rotten, or you know what I mean. Okay, when you eat food that contains yeast, and your body cannot handle them. All right, so the acid in your stomach is there to also help you protect you from food poisoning. So if you're always having recurrence of food poisoning, you get sick, you get to the hospital, and you're being told you have food poisoning, and this keeps on going on, you've had it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, then you can, apart from checking what you eat, apart from checking the source of your food, which is very important, you need to also check your stomach acid. There's tendency that you're having low stomach acid. All right. So this mucous membrane helps to protect the stomach and the intestine from this acid affecting the stomach wall. All right. So let me just quickly break down some of the causes of ulcer that you do not know. I know the common ones are painkillers, all this. So people think when they fast, that's when they have ulcer. Really, it's not really correct. Fasting in a way does not give you ulcer. Fasting does not give you ulcer. Yeah. Fasting does not give you ulcer. What actually gives you ulcer? I'll break it down. The first one, which is the most important one, is refined food. Yes, I surprised you, right? Refined foods. So if you like to take refined foods, you like to go shopping, grocery shopping, you eat a lot of refined food, a lot of processed foods, yeah, ultra processed foods. You take noodles, you take pastries, you take flour foods, you take all these jargons, biscuits, snacks, all these processed foods. Refined food is one of the major causes of ulcer, and people do not know. In fact, people that are even currently treating ulcer, some of them don't know. They still eat refined foods. So you find it very difficult to win over ulcer. Now, one of the reasons why refined foods is one of the causes of ulcer is that refined foods leads to the depletion of vitamin E. Vitamin E, if you are currently struggling with ulcer, vitamin E, you can't joke with vitamin E. Vitamin E is very, 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 very important. So refined food will lead to depletion of this vitamin E. Now, vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant. Remember, when I was giving the definition of ulcer, I said ulcer is an oxidative damage to the mucous layer, which serves as a protective layer or as a protective coating or as a protective cover to your stomach and your intestine. Now, vitamin E is a very powerful antioxidant. Antioxidants are things that tackles oxidative stress, oxidative damage. So vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects the stomach and intestines from ulcer. So since ulcer is oxidative, is caused by oxidative damage, that means you can't joke with vitamin E. So vitamin E, very, very important. Search for foods that contain vitamin E, basically vegetables. And if you can get vitamin E supplement, embrace that. Take a lot of vitamin E. It is very, very important. So vegetables on point. And when you start eating these vegetables, you eat it like you have, like the way you should you have to eat it, not like the regular person, because you are trying to use this to treat something. So they may call you a goat. In our own climb here, when somebody is vegetarian, they say he's a goat. It's always eating leaves. Let them abuse you, but you get out of your sick condition pretty soon. Okay, so vitamin E, very important, and you can get that from a lot of vegetables. Second cause of ulcer, guess what? Still refined foods. Refined foods, number two again. How is it number two? When you eat a lot of refined foods, it leads to zinc deficiency. It leads to the deficiency of zinc. The first point was depletion of vitamin E. The second one is deficiency of zinc. Now, if the body is deficient of zinc, if your body is deficient of zinc, you will make excess acid, you make excess gastric juice and gastric acid, but you won't make enough mast cell. See, mast cell is some of the things in our body that helps to regulate the inner lining of the stomach. That inner lining that also, has perforated through. The zinc is one. Zinc. When you have a lot of zinc, when you have enough zinc, when you have adequate zinc in your body, when you have sufficient zinc, it helps to produce enough mast cell. And one of the functions of this mast cell is to help you protect the stomach lining and also help you to heal the stomach lining. So what do you think you should do from there? Zinc supplementation, very important. It's super important. You cannot joke with that. Number three cause of ulcer, stress. I know some of you have never heard of some of these things before. You don't know stress can cause ulcer. Yes, stress can cause ulcer. Stress causes ulcer. So for some of you, it was stress that led to the issue. So stress is one of the major causes of ulcer. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system that controls digestion and our stomach activity, is always affected when you are under stress. So stress affects your stomach pH level. Stress affects the acidity and alkalinity level of your stomach. It affects it, and it leads to oxidative damage to the stomach tissue. So stress. So if you are currently treating triggers their own ulcer, but they notice that whenever they go through stress, whenever they're under stress, maybe they had a party, they had a birthday party, they had a funeral, and they were fully involved, and they did 2-3 days of back-to-back activities, or they had some activities in their church or in their mosque, maybe back-to-back vigil, and they're under stress. They notice that ulcer always come up even though they are eating. So stress is one of the causes of ulcer. So I've talked about depletion of vitamin E, I've talked about deficiency of zinc, and I've talked about stress. The fourth one, which is common, is H. pylori. Okay, H. pylori. And you must have heard about H. pylori. Now, I'm going to be talking extensively on H. pylori, and I want you to understand. I'm going to be explaining it as layman as possible for you to understand. You see, so many people have H. pylori. H. pylori is a bacteria. So many of us have H. pylori. When you have your test, H. pylori is present in a lot of people. A lot of you guys that do not even have ulcer right now, you have that bacteria present in you. So how come there are a lot of people who have this bacteria in them, but not everybody that has that bacteria in them have ulcer? I've thought about that. When you go to the hospitals, they tell you that the cause of your ulcer is H. pylori. Yeah, okay, but there are a lot of people who have H. pylori and they don't have ulcer. So how come? So does that not tell you that H. pylori is not really the cause? Okay. Now, you see, bacteria is not your enemy. Let me break it down for you. Bacteria is not your enemy. So blaming H. pylori bacteria for gastric disease is like blaming firefighters for a fire outbreak. It's like blaming the police for a protest. Okay. You see, bacteria, they are there to help you clean up the toxicity caused by stress, the toxicity caused by improper nutrition, drug toxicity, and all of these toxic things happening in your body. They are there to help you clean them up. So it is usually very easy to blame bacteria, but in most of the cases, they are not the problem. Let me go further. You see, there are some bacteria in our body. We know we have billions of bacteria in us, especially in our guts, that our body needs. We have the good bacteria, we have the bad bacteria. We need them. So when you take antibiotics, antibiotics kills the bad bacteria. Now, I've explained this in my previous classes, but let me just chip it in here. When you take antibiotics, antibiotics kills the bad bacteria. Fine. But it affects the good bacteria as well, because we need both. We need them at a particular proportion. We need them. The good bacteria, in a way, I'm just trying to be simple. The good bacteria also need the bad bacteria. If there's no darkness, we cannot appreciate light. Okay? Just take it that way. It's like the good bacteria feeds on the bad bacteria for them to be able to perform. So when you kill the bad bacteria, which sometimes serve as food to the good bacteria, where will the good bacteria get their own food? So we need both, but we need them at a particular proportion. There's a proportion, there's a ratio. Okay, so once that proportion is not balanced anymore, then there's an issue. Okay, do you understand that? Now let me go on. So I'm just trying to tell you that we have bacteria in us. Bacteria plenty in our body. Now, once the circumstance changes, the role of the bacteria will change. Please follow along. Once your condition changes, the role of the bacteria also changes. For example, the same bacteria that are in you, the good bacteria that are in you, that helps us break down our food, helps us absorb our food in the gut, helps us prevent some illnesses, helps us balance our body, our gut flora, helps us maintain our immunity. This good bacteria in us, this same bacteria that we're calling good bacteria, immediately you die, immediately you change your circumstance, immediately you change your status. You were living before, while you were living, and when they were good. But immediately you die, they change their role, they change their responsibility. They no longer do that thing that they were doing when you were alive. The next thing they switch into is to cleaning up. So they are part of the bacteria that makes our body decay when we die. So some people feel that what makes us decay is when somebody is buried. If you keep a dead body, human being or animal, in an airtight condition, in a box where nothing comes in contact with it, it will still decay. We decay from the inside. So this same bacteria that keeps us alive, that gives us good health, that is making us walk, making us live, immediately we change our status, immediately we change our circumstance, they change their role. Okay, so sometimes there are certain things that we should do, like exercise, like breathe fresh air, eat good food. When we do all of these things, these bacteria are they function differently. They function as good bacteria. But immediately we change, we don't exercise properly, we don't drink enough water, this same bacteria will change their role and will start giving us issues. That's when you now have infection, this and that. You've treated infection back to back to back to back to back. You are no longer exposed to anything that will give infection, but you keep on having infection. Where is this coming from? Okay, so they change their role. Let me give you another example. Fruits that we eat, apple, banana, cashew, all those fruits. It is the work of bacteria that makes fruit to form from flower to fruit. The same bacteria, once the flower changes its status from flower to a fruit, this bacteria change their responsibility, they change their role. This bacteria makes flower form into a fruit. But once we have fruit, that means the flower has changed its circumstance. This bacteria, they are still present inside the fruit. They change their role. They change their role from what they were doing before. They will be the same bacteria that makes the fruit get ripened. So they change their role. Immediately, the fruit changes from a ripe fruit and it has maybe probably reached its peak, or the fruit fell down. The fruit is cut off from the tree. This same bacteria change their role from ripening the fruit to making the fruit decay. The same bacteria. So when you change your circumstance, when you change your status, this bacteria change their role. They change their role. They change their role like that. Okay. Okay. So talking about H. pylori bacteria, it is present in a lot of people, but not all of them have ulcer. So they simply change their role when the body changes its situation, when the body changes its circumstance, when the situation in the body changes, they change. So what are some of the things that makes your body change circumstance or change its status? When you overstress yourself. When you overstress yourself, that's why stress is one of the reasons why you can have ulcer. When you are consuming drug, when you rely heavily on chemical drugs, drug toxicity, when you rely heavily on drug, like like NSAID, antibiotics, cortisone, and all sorts. So these are some of the things that makes H. pylori in some people change their role and give them ulcer. So it is not really H. pylori. It is what you do when you have H. pylori. I hope you understand that. Okay, it's what you do when you have H. pylori. It's the circumstance of your body. It's the status at which your body is at that point that makes the H. pylori in you go crazy and go haywire and starts giving you issues like ulcer. Now, how do you know if you have ulcer? I hope I was able to explain that. Yeah, yeah. So, how do you know whether you have ulcer? How? The first one is when you have burning sensation on an empty stomach. Whenever you are hungry, whenever your stomach is empty, you are always having burning sensation. That could be a sign that you have ulcer. Okay. The second one, so when you have burning sensation on an empty stomach, but when you eat while having that burning sensation, if you get relief, then it is ulcer. But if you're having burning sensation, maybe your chest, your stomach, or whatever, and you eat and you don't get relief, it is not ulcer. It is most likely low stomach acid. So when you eat while having burning sensation in your stomach area and you don't always get relief, most likely it is not ulcer. So if you keep on taking the drug for ulcer, you might not get any results. But when you eat after having a burning sensation and you get relieved, yes, it could be ulcer. So one way you can use to test this, I don't advise this actually because if you have ulcer, it is going to be bad. So is to take apple cider vinegar. So you can mix apple cider vinegar in water and you drink it. If your burning sensation gets worse, chances are that you have ulcer. But when you mix apple cider vinegar in water and you take it while you're having burning sensation, and the burning sensation does not get worse, then it is not ulcer. It is most likely low stomach acid. And if it is low stomach acid, I will tell you what to do. But firstly, how do you also test for low stomach acid? Okay. Um, get regular baking soda. Baking soda. I know everyone knows baking soda. Regular baking soda. Get quarter teaspoon, of baking soda. Mix it in about 24 cl of water. That's about half sachet of pure water in Nigeria. Mix it and drink it on an empty stomach. Drink that on an empty stomach. That's quarter teaspoon, not tablespoon, quarter teaspoon of baking soda in about 24 cl of water. That should be about half pure water. I think half side of water is about full side of water is 50 cl. So half should be about 25. So, okay. So you mix that, you drink it on an empty stomach, probably in the morning. If you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, if your stomach acid is low, and you do that, you start belching, you start burping, you start belching within 1 to 5 minutes of doing that, of drinking that mixture, because baking soda is alkaline and it will start to neutralize the stomach acid you have left. And if you don't have enough stomach acid, you start burping, you start belching. So if you want to test if you have low stomach acid, you can do that. Mix quarter teaspoon of baking soda in about 24 cl of water. Take it on an empty stomach, probably most likely in the morning. If you have low stomach acid, within 1 to 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you start belching. Now, if you have low stomach acid, if the problem is low stomach acid, and that's one of the things that can lead to stomach acid is when you are taking antacid. Antacid will reduce your stomach acid. Your stomach needs to be acidic. The stomach is one of the organs that needs to be acidic. It needs to be acidic to function. So when you're taking antacid, antacid will reduce. That's why most times when you take antacid, most people, if you've been taking antacid for a long time, you always notice that you're always having constipation. Food will not go. Okay? Food will not go. So one of the things you can do to bring back your stomach acid is to take apple cider vinegar mixed with water. That's when you've confirmed that your case is low stomach acid. Don't go and take apple cider vinegar on ulcer, okay? Without being monitored. Now, so you take apple cider vinegar mixed with water. You can also take cayenne pepper, mix cayenne pepper with water and drink. You can also mix lemon in warm water and drink regularly. You can use about 4 lemons per day. So it will help you get your stomach acid back gradually. Now let's talk about acid reflux. Have you all subscribed to this? Have you all subscribed? If you don't subscribe, I would. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about acid reflux. I know some of you are here for acid reflux. You see, when food goes from your mouth, it goes through the esophagus, then to your stomach. So there's a point where the esophagus connects to the stomach. That place is called cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter. So it's a valve, it's a muscular valve. So the function of that sphincter is to help you lock the entrance into the stomach after you've eaten, so that content of the stomach will not come back into the throat, will not come back into the esophagus, like acid or the food you've eaten. It must not come back, except if you're an animal if you're a ruminant animal that regurgitates. Okay, so if the content in your stomach is always coming back to your throat, then there's a problem. That is acid reflux. When the acid in your stomach is coming back to your throat, acid reflux. So that will give you burning sensation in your throat. That can lead to throat ulcer. It can also give you heartburn, because that part where you have that cardiac sphincter is very close to the heart. Where the esophagus and the stomach connect together is very close to the heart. So when you're having acid coming back from your stomach to your throat through that sphincter, you'll be having heartburn and you'll be asked to take antacid and all of this. Now, when the acid comes back, it's acid reflux, and why would this acid even come back in the first place? For those of you that have acid reflux, why would this come back? Why would the content in your stomach come back to the throat? The first reason is that when you probably, our body learns, our body has its own memory. If you're the type of person that eats too much, you overeat, that could be a problem. That could be one of the reasons why you're having acid reflux. You overeat, you eat to the neck. And then some people also eat in large quantity, and after eating in large quantity, sometimes when you eat in large quantity, especially high carb food, you feel drowsy, you want to sleep, or you want to just relax after eating. You relax after eating, and or you just lie down. So when you lie down, the food inside of your stomach has not been processed, has not gone to the next level, the content can come back when you lie down. It can come back to that sphincter, it can come back to that valve, and it will keep on pushing the valve gradually. To keep on pushing it. So if you are used to it, if you always do this, it will keep on pushing the valve gradually. And after a long period of time, that sphincter will get weakened. And after it is weakened, it starts to open. So when you lie down again, acid will just come back to your throat as acid reflux has started. And it's very hard to treat. It's very hard to treat. So it's just like as if that muscle is now slack, is now weakened. Another reason is that you see, when that valve, that muscle is usually here, when it opens, when you eat and want to swallow, it opens. After swallowing, it closes so that water inside will not come back again. So for it to open, the muscle must contract. So when it wants to open, when you are swallowing the food, the muscle will contract, then open. When it wants to close, the muscle will relax. When it wants to open, the muscle will contract and open, make a way. But when it is about to close, the muscle will relax. Do you get that? Now, stress is a condition of the body that makes muscle contract. That's why some people always have muscle pain, muscle pull when they are stressed. When you stress your body, you overdone exercise or you overwork yourself, you're having cramps and muscle pulls and also. So when we are stressed, our muscle contracts. It contracts. Sometimes it gives some people palpitation. So when you are stressed, your muscle contracts. So when you are stressed, remember the sphincter always open when it contracts. So when you are stressed, our muscle contracts, and when the valve muscle contracts, it opens. And then the food that you swallowed into your stomach and the acid, you might not be able to win over acid reflux. So what do you need to do? You already know. Get stress out of the way. There are a lot of things that can stress you. It's not only physical stress. There's mental stress. You might not lift your hand. You might not do anything with your hand like this. You might be seated at the table, but what you are doing with your head, the kind of thing that is going on, the kind of calculations, the kind of management that is going on in your head, that alone can. So some people feel it's only when you do work, when you work with your body and then you exercise, that's when you are stressed. No, there is mental stress as well. You are thinking, you are brooding. A loved one just died, or you are depressed, and all of this. So all of this can lead to mental stress and all sorts, and the stress level in your body will increase, and the valve, the cardiac sphincter gets contracted and opens, and whenever you've eaten, the content of the stomach starts coming back. I hope you got that. All right. So what is the solution? Now let's go to solution. Solutions. Okay. Let's talk about the solution to acid reflux first. And antacid is not the solution. For those of you who have been placed on antacid is not the solution. Okay, it's not the solution to ulcer. It's not the solution to acid reflux. Well, some of you might be using it and it could give you temporary, relief, but stomach for it to work perfectly. The stomach must remain acidic. The stomach must remain acidic properly for your stomach to work perfectly. And antacid reduces the acidity of the stomach, and this affects your digestion. In fact, it has also even been discovered, I think, that antacid is one of the things that leads to colon cancer. So for those of you who have been placed on antacid and you've been using it for years, colon cancer, antacid is one of the causes of colon. Why? Because protein, the breakdown of protein starts inside, not in the mouth, compared to starch. Starch breakdown starts in the mouth, but protein starts inside. So when the acid level in your stomach is not enough, protein will not be properly broken down from your stomach or your small intestine, and to move to the large intestine, which is the colon. So when protein that is not properly broken down moves to the large intestine, the colon will need to release excess bacteria to break down that protein. And in the process of releasing excess bacteria, there will be an imbalance, and this bacteria can start eating up the walls of the colon. It start breaking down the walls of the colon, and this leads to colon cancer, and it is deadly. So antacid is not the solution. It could be a relief, temporary relief, but it's not the solution. So one of the things you need to do is to stop overeating. Stop overeating. It takes our body about maybe 1 to 3 hours to fully digest our meal when we eat on the average. So stop overeating. Some people eat every hour. You eat now, you eat 2 hours later, 30 minutes again, you eat. Eating in between meals, you have to stop it. Whenever you want to eat everything you want to eat at a go. Breakfast, eat all your breakfast at a go. Then wait until lunch. Don't eat a little bit by 7 a.m. Then 8 a.m. again, 1 hour after, you're eating a little again. 9 a.m. If you keep on eating like that, it will affect. So, and then the quantity of food you have to be eating has to be moderate. So stop overeating. So people go to parties, when they see free food, they lose their senses, they lose everything about them. So stop overeating and stop eating in between meals. Then your dinner, you need to start eating your dinner like a pauper, because most times we sleep after dinner. But if you know that after breakfast you sleep or you relax, you slide down on your chair and relax, then you need to start cutting down on your breakfast as well. But most times we always sleep after dinner. So when you want to eat your dinner, make sure you eat your dinner like a poor person, like a pauper, little quantity. Okay, little. In fact, you can take soup only for dinner. Stop taking most 1,000 naira. Pounded yam worth 2,000 naira at night, 9 p.m. And after that, you feel sleepy. Then you go to your sitting room, you'll be watching TV, the news, and you ate your dinner by 9 p.m. You're watching the news 9:30, 11. By 10, you are gone on the sitting room sofa. You are gone. So the food will keep on coming back through the sphincter, weakening the sphincter gradually until it gets weakened to an extent where it can no longer hold the content of the stomach, and it keeps on coming back. You have acid reflux. So eat your dinner like a pauper. Eat your dinner like a poor person. Also, you need to supplement magnesium. You know what magnesium does? Magnesium helps to relax the muscle. That is why it's very important. If you're always having cramps, if you have palpitation, if you have high blood pressure, all of this, and even acid reflux, you need to get magnesium supplements. Magnesium supplement is very important because when your muscle is relaxed, the valve closes, the cardiac sphincter closes. But when the cardiac sphincter is contracted, it opens. So you want to close it back. It is weakened already. So you want to close it back. So you start supplementing magnesium. So get high quality magnesium supplements. Okay, whatever brand you can lay your hands on, magnesium supplements. And then there is something which I'm going to be sharing with you again. here. Um, it works for acid reflux and also works for sleep. It also works for ulcer. But let me, before I share that, let me quickly talk about some solution to ulcer. In case I forget, let me know. Tell me I wanted to share something that works for ulcer and for acid reflux. Okay. Now, solution for ulcer. For those of you who have been battling with ulcer, you will need to be committed to the solution because it won't take care of you just once. You won't just take it today and your ulcer is gone tomorrow. No. And there's some people that the ulcer has gone, or the symptom, the attack, it's been a long time they had the attack, but they know that when they take certain food, it still comes back. So they try to avoid those food. Fine, that's good. Avoid all ulcer triggers for you, and then do this. The first one on my list here is cabbage. Don't joke with cabbage if you have ulcer. Cabbage should be your best food. Cabbage should be your best vegetable. Cabbage juice on empty stomach. Don't take it after you've eaten. If you want to get the real effect, take it on an empty stomach. So you'll be taking it first thing in the morning in good quantity. Okay. So cabbage contains a group of sulfur compounds, and it has been shown that this sulfur compound helps to bring back H. pylori back to their senses. The H. pylori that has gone crazy in your body that are now perforating anything perforatable. It helps to bring back H. pylori back to their senses. So it helps to bring back H. pylori into remission. So cabbage. So but don't cook cabbage. When you cook cabbage, especially when you cook it too much, you destroy this chemical compound. So what you need to do is you can eat raw cabbage. If you can eat raw cabbage, you can juice it. You can blend the cabbage and take the juice. You can slightly steam cabbage. You can slightly steam it and take it. And you can also take fermented cabbage. You can ferment cabbage and take. So you can do all of these four. You can do it. You can alternate them. Maybe today you take cabbage juice. Tomorrow you take steamed cabbage. The next day after you take fermented cabbage. You alternate them. It's very powerful. Cabbage is very powerful. So you'll be taking it 3 times daily, and you have to dedicate to take it for 3 months back to back. That's why I said it requires commitment. You have to take it for 3 months, 90 days, 3 times daily. So day 1, morning, afternoon, night. Day 2, morning, afternoon, night. Day 3, morning, afternoon, night. Back to back for 90 days. Yes, for you to be able to get results. Don't just take it for 2 days or 3 days or 1 week and you said the ulcer is still there. You have to take it back to back. So cabbage. There was a study where a group of people were placed on cabbage. They had ulcer. A group of people they were placed on cabbage juice, while another group was placed on omeprazole. Another group was placed on omeprazole. So at the end, they discovered that the group that was placed on cabbage saw an 83% improvement. So the group on cabbage, the cabbage group saw 83% improvement, while the group on omeprazole saw 81% improvement. It's very close. Cabbage gave 83%, omeprazole gave 81%, very close. But the numbers, though they are close, but those who were placed on cabbage got no side effects. No side effects. So cabbage, don't joke with cabbage. If that's the only thing you're taking out from this class, it's enough. Cabbage, and dedicate to take it for 3 solid months. 3 times daily for 3 months. 3 times daily for 3 months. Okay. Now, another part of our plants that can help you with ulcer is chlorophyll. You see that green part in our leaves? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll helps to heal inside of the digestive tract. So don't joke with vegetables, especially leafy green and spirulina. There's a vegetable called spirulina. Don't joke with spirulina. So if you can get supplement that contains spirulina, any brand, as long as it's high quality, get it. So, and these high quality supplements that you look out for, they will be pricey. Yes, high quality supplements are always pricey. So if you're looking for something cheap, you might not get high quality. Okay. All right. So spirulina supplements, you can search and get any brand as long as it's high quality. So spirulina is very, very, it has high content of chlorophyll. Then you can take leafy greens as well. Now, zinc supplementation. Supplement zinc. Get zinc supplements. Take a lot of zinc. Take a lot of zinc. Then avoid all your triggers. Avoid, especially refined foods. Avoid refined food, sugar. Avoid meat. Avoid alcohol. Avoid milk and dairy products. Now, you also need to take a lot of probiotics. Probiotics are mostly fermented food, like fermented cabbage, yogurt, not flavored yogurt too. Get like Greek yogurt. Yogurt is very good for ulcer. Get it here. Fermented cabbage, pap, ogi. Get pap. Throw away custard. Take pap. Then also take pickled cabbage. So okay, this is what I'll be doing. I'll be sending you an email probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow on how to make fermented cabbage, how to make pickled cabbage. I'll send you an email on how to make it. The steps. Do this, do this. Okay, I'll send it to you tomorrow. In case I forget, let me know in the community. You can also take cheese. I can also take honey. These are probiotics. Okay, and then yes, now can the cabbage juice be taken by a pregnant woman? Yes. Yeah. Now, the last one that I wanted to share that works for acid reflux and ulcer, whether it's a stomach ulcer, duodenal ulcer, or throat ulcer, is what we call throat coat. Let me type it in the chat. Throat coat. Hold on. I'm just trying to type. Can you see it in the chat? Throat coats. Okay. A coat for the throat. So you can go online and search for throat coat, or search for slippery elm. Slippery elm. Let me type that as well. Slippery elm. Yeah. Let me just see if I can put it up here. Yes, it's right on the screen there. Throat coat or slippery elm. Okay, go online and search. There are a lot of a lot of brands you can get. Okay, it's on all these e-commerce sites like Jumia and all sorts. So slippery elm or throat coat, it helps to soothe the lining of the gastrointestinal wall. So when you're having this pain, this discomfort, it helps, and it also helps to heal ulcer. So you'll be taking it 4 times daily, back to back for a period of time, a month, 2 months, or 3 months, depending on how severe yours is. Yes, so it works for acid reflux. So if you have acid reflux, it works. If you also have ulcer, it works. Then you can combine it with some of the things I just shared here. So you can combine that throat coat with magnesium supplement if you have acid reflux. You can combine the throat coat with cabbage juice, zinc supplement, and fermented foods if you have ulcer. Yes. Yes. I hope you gain a lot of value. How valuable was tonight's class? Let me see if you have liked this session. Did you like the video? Hit the like button, and hit the subscribe button. All right, so that is the much I can take on this class, and I hope I've been able to do justice to ulcer and acid reflux. So after this class, you are supposed to lose the fear, throw away that fear of ulcer, because I've given you how you can take advantage of ulcer's weak points, acid reflux weak points, and win. So after tonight's class, implementation is the next thing. Don't just come here, learn here, and go back to your daily life. And ulcer is disturbing you. Try this out. Try it out and give me a feedback. Okay? Try it out and give me a feedback. Okay? I hope this has been valuable. Yes. If you got value from tonight's session, let me know in the chats. Someone is asking, what food should ulcer patients avoid? Different people have different triggers. Okay? Some people, they get triggered when they eat beans. Some people get triggered when they take gari. Some people get triggered when they take yam. Some people get triggered when they take milk. Yeah. Some people get triggered when they take spicy food. So whatever trigger you get, whatever food triggers your own ulcer, avoid them. Then avoid refined food, most especially refined food, processed foods, junks. Avoid sugar, avoid meat, avoid milk, yeah, and avoid alcohol. Okay, all right. I can see a lot of people saying value, 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 value. Amazing. Are you going to implement? Are you going to try this out? Are you going to try this out? Okay, so before we go, I want you to do one thing. Okay, I want you to help me prepare those who are on the community who didn't attend today. So take a screenshot of the screen right now, but take that screenshot when I'm fine, not when I open my mouth. Okay, take the screenshots of this session on your just on your phone. Take a screenshot. So when we're done with the class, when I open the community, drop it and help me prepare those who missed this class. Let them get prepared. Okay. Please, meat. Can we eat chicken? Please, is chicken fish? Chicken is meat as well. Okay. Avoid it. There's always a lot of question when it comes to talking about meat. Pork, that's meat from pig. Chicken, meat from fowl. Beef, meat from cow. All of them are meat. Avoid meat. Avoid meat. Yes, I already said it, Mr. Wasil. What I said I was going to share at the end is slippery elm and throat coat. So I already shared it. Yes, I remembered. Yeah, let me take your feedbacks. Remember what you. Yes, I already shared that. Yeah. Okay. So have you taken the screenshots? Take a screenshot. I want to use to prepare them. Take the screenshots. Let me look good. Yeah, now take the screenshots. Take the screenshots. All right. Okay. So that's the much you can take. I didn't want to exceed 1 hour, and I think I've been able to do justice to acid reflux and ulcer. Okay. So I'd like us to continue our discussion on the community. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for being a part of this. And what you can do to actually show appreciation is to implement this. I want you to implement this so that we want to promote wellness in the community. We want to promote wellness in the community. So implement this and give me feedback in the group. Okay. So thanks, and we'll continue our discussion in the group. All right. See you later.